Afternoon guys, and welcome back to Tropical Fruits of Mother Nature Melbourne. Been about 2 weeks since our last episode, and I thought, it's been a bit of a hectic 2 weeks. I apologise that we haven't had many episodes coming out. Reason being is we were actually caught up with COVID in the house, so we're all pretty much sick to the bone, but we've recovered now, and we've got a big episode ahead, including updates over the past few weeks, obviously with the tropical heat wave that we've had, with La Nina and her rainstorms the last couple of days, and we've had some new arrivals too, so hang tight. We're going to do a bit of a longer episode today, having a closer look at how everything's progressed over the last few weeks since the last episode, and show you the new arrivals and how they're how they've progressed over the last day. So we've only received the new arrivals 2 days ago, or yesterday. So yeah, we'll have a closer look at those too. So hang in there, and we'll without further ado, we'll have a closer look. Alright guys, can't go past the Avocado. So how's he doing? How's he been going? Short answer is sensational. So lots of new growth. We've pulled out a lot of the older leaves, larger leaves, which I believe were taking up too much energy, and the result is that we're getting much more new growth, much more progress, and overall a happy tree. Alright, so having a closer look there at the leaves, as you can see, loads of new growth coming on up the top there and on the sides, which is awesome. Now, I was a bit weary when we first planted this avocado. As you guys can remember, there was a lot of speculation going around about its location and whether or not it would be appropriate to plant this, what we call probably a seedling still, even though it's about a meter tall, in this particular location, and that's because of the heat and the afternoon sun that it's going to get. But where I've planted it, and because of the protection from this upper canopy and this large tree, this particular one has actually done really well. So pretty happy with the avocado and its progress. It's probably doing better than the Fuerte. So yeah, enjoy having a closer look at it, and the leaves, and how green the foliage is, and how healthy it looks. And hopefully come in by next year, we might get this guy to flower. So the growth on him is awesome. For all you avocado lovers, it's the Avocado. Alright, moving right along. We've got the Paxton Prolific. So a couple of days ago, long story short, the flowers on it, as you probably remember from my previous videos, we started getting smaller flowers, so they're starting to pop up all around the entire tree now, which is awesome. But the bonus is that when we had the tropical rainstorm, which was a couple of days ago, so the heat did it well, but when we had the tropical rainstorm, the flowers size almost exploded, so they're starting to get bigger now, which is awesome. And that's a good sign. But besides that, the foliage on it itself is something to celebrate. So sending out new growth everywhere. So it's a difference between feeding these guys tap water and rainwater, and the difference of having tropical heat and humidity versus a dry, arid heat, which is what we're sort of used to and accustomed to here in Melbourne. But again, this guy's sort of loving life at the moment, shooting through new growth, shooting through new foliage, and he's a star. So another one which is showing some positive productive growth is a Paxton Prolific. So some good news there. And that's an in-ground too, by the way. He's been in-ground for probably 2 years now. The end of this summer will be 2 years. and he's doing really, really well. Alright, Avocado Fuerte. This is the thirstmonger. Can't go a summer without a proper drink. But when he does have a proper drink, that's the results. So again, I reckon personally the Hass is doing better than him. Hass has got more height, more darker foliage. But in saying that, I wouldn't write this guy off too quickly, because he's still sending out loads of growth. And Fuerte is a bit different. The leaf structure is a bit different. You get the lighter leaves as opposed to the Hass, where you get the darker leaves. But again, still some beautiful growth on there, still some beautiful leaves, and definitely not a sight for sore eyes. So pretty happy with this guy too. We'll take a closer look at these leaves. It's hard to sort of convey what we're the sort of growth that we actually experience here, and the foliage when you're looking through back of a screen, but still very nice. That's coming from the Fuerte Avocado. So in total, we've got the Paxton Prolific, the Hass, and the Fuerte, all 10 out of 10 stunners. So all doing really well. But moving on, let's go and have a look at our miniature jungle. See how that's growing. Okay, so before I start having a closer look at how everything's growing on, I just wanted to sort of summarize it and say that despite the heat, we got very little to very low heat damage on the leaves, which is awesome, guys. And the reason for that is because of sea salt. So pays off, guys, to chuck sea salt on these guys, especially prior to summer starting and prior to winter starting. So load them up, and you'll notice a result. So I'll show you a few of them that do the super ultra tropical sensitive sooks, but the rest of them, which you'll see, which are also sensitive and sooks, pull through pretty well. So alright, we'll start at the front here. There's a lot to have a look at, guys, so hang in there. We'll start with the banana. So that's shade protected again by the loquat tree, and the growth on it's been awesome. So this is a new leaf, beautiful green color to it. Loving the brown spots on it, which is awesome too. Again, it's doing really well, the banana here, covered by this massive loquat tree on top of me. So I couldn't recommend it enough. The rainforest system of the upper, lower and middle canopies is working. Alright, now if we just move in behind, the coffee tree also doing really well. Mind you, this area here that with the banana and the coffee trees gets little to no sun, but it does get the heat. So as you can see, the results there speak for themselves. Coffee tree is shooting out loads of new growth, which is awesome. Now this coffee tree was moved from the full sun. We have two coffee trees, one in the full sun and one in the shade. Top part of it did die, but that's alright, because the bottom part didn't, and shooting heaps of growth. So besides that, got some loquat seedlings which have just sprung up, which is awesome. And on the edge there we've got the loofah tree, commonly used as loofah in the shower if you let it dry out, but also an Asian veggie. So you can eat that and chuck that in soups too, for all you out there who know what that is, the loofah. Okay, moving right along. Just besides the banana there, that little one that sprung up there, sweet potato, which is awesome. That was from a homegrown sweet potato, guys. So something that you might want to try is chuck some sweet potato into the ground. Now that one was in a cupboard for about a month, and then it started sprouting. Then we chucked it in the ground. But take a closer look there. Sweet potato is doing really well, which is awesome. Look at that, all that new growth. Just next to it, we've got our pineapples. Pineapple number 1, pineapple number 2, and just under the banana leaf, pineapple number 3. All doing significantly well. So won't spend too much time on the pineapples, lots to see. Talk about pineapples, there's some more there. When we move back a bit, we've got our hibiscus. Not the edible type, but it's I thought I'd throw it in the video anyway. And just above it, our papaya, which is also doing really well. Now, a trick with the papaya, which I sort of got some tips from some other tropical growers, is to remove the 90-degree leaves. So once those leaves drop to a 90-degree angle, pop them off, and that encourages growth, new growth to coming out from the leaves, but also growth on the entire trunk itself. And if I give you a closer look, you'll see how big the leaves are going, which is a great sign. Last time, well, this one you guys didn't, I'm not sure if I gave you a close enough look, but he's growing crazy now, and the humidity and the rain is helping him heaps. So I'm pretty sure that's a Sri Lankan red type, but we'll see how he goes in winter. Not that we're near winter, but we'll keep monitoring him. Okay, Bowen seedling. I was grafted, but I think we had the top of it die, but that's still shooting out new growth, so it's probably below the original graft, but again, nothing to complain about there. With the humidity and the rain, this guy's going to do fine. So Bowen seedling's doing really well, the mango. He's happy there, protected by the full sun so he doesn't get that burnt. And we're moving across. Sorry guys, I'm sort of running through a lot of these. We might have to make another part, but we'll see how we go. We've got more pineapples there in the back, next to the cardamom ginger. 2 cardamom gingers actually, which are doing both significantly well. So as you can see there, we're excited when we see new growth. And we get a lot of new growth when these tropical storms hit, when we get this tropical humid weather. Alright, moving across, our curry tree, which is doing really well now that he's in ground. We've popped our starfruit in the ground too. So as you can see, you guys haven't had a proper look at this since the last video that I did 2 weeks ago, but as you can sort of tell, in 2 weeks this guy's just shot out with growth. So he's going crazy. So we've popped him in ground now, and we'll see how he sort of goes for the duration of summer, and then obviously when we go into autumn and winter. Now coming down lower end of the canopy, we have got more cardamom ginger growing, and next to it, I don't know what it is. Maybe you guys know. Could be the cardamom ginger, maybe it's not. But these guys here, I did plant some galangal, and I planted some ginger in the ground, and it looks like they're just shooting up. As you can see, 1, 2, 3. Now I have no idea what they are, but they're coming out. I've also threw in some papaya seedlings, and papaya seeds rather, and these guys are coming up too, which is awesome. So it's all adding to the jungle theme, guys, which is awesome. See how, again, we'll see how they go in autumn and winter, but right now they're looking really well. Blue Java, nothing to complain there. Bananas obviously always do well, as you know. One of our new additions, which arrived yesterday, the moringa. So I've been wanting to get one of these guys for a while now, but I ended up getting 2 of them. And as you know, I've been looking for videos and to see who's growing moringa, and you know, apparently it's pretty straightforward. But as George mentioned, we'll keep him in a pot, we'll let him grow, and then we will eventually transport him to the ground. But for now, he's staying in a pot, and he'll be in a greenhouse during winter. Moving along, we have got the coconut number 3. That growth, again guys, you'll have to go back to my previous videos to have a look at the progress. So a bit of sun damage there, which is okay, that's expected. but this was the leaf that was coming out, and it's come out and it's amazing. So I'm stoked with that. The coconuts are actually doing really well now in Melbourne, and we have La Nina to thank. So thank you, La Nina, for all your warm and humid weather, because the coconuts are loving temperature in Melbourne. Hit a burnt leaf again, but nothing too serious, guys. Pretty good for a coconut. And we go down to the lower canopy again. Those two little suckers there, bananas, they're coming out, and we'll have a closer look at it. But the mango in the far back canopy there, so I'll show you what's happened to him since we've taken off the flowers, and we'll have a look at that coconut too. Okay, one thing I can't miss is the other papaya, which is screaming with new growth. So I almost can't keep up with him now. He's going crazy. And you just have a look in the inside, it's just leaf after leaf after leaf after leaf. New growth going in there. And again, here's the same deal. So once the leaves hit 90 degrees, they get pulled off, or they get popped off, so that the growth can concentrate on the actual trunk itself, rather than the leaves. Because the leaves are good, but in summer you don't need leaves, you need growth. So that come autumn, winter, he's strong enough to survive through it. Obviously it's helped as well, the way we've planted him with the coconut coir, with the manure and with the sand. That's helped heaps with the drainage, and as you can tell, pretty strong. So 2 fingers thick. That's pretty good. We'll wait to see how he progresses over the coming weeks as we go into mid-summer in Melbourne. But that's a quick summary on how this small garden patch, or the mini jungle, is growing here. Everything's doing really, really well. No complaints at all. So there you go, guys. So far, it's all working out. Let's keep our fingers crossed so we get more growth, because the more growth we get, the more chance of survival we get. Okay, moving on. Won't go into too much details regarding the bananas and the sugar canes, which, as most of you know, are just shooting through. What I will say though is we're keeping on the mulch. Keep loading on mulch, guys. Gives it protection, feeds the bananas, creates soil. So I can't stress enough mulch. And the results I'll show you on the other end there against the fence, is what happens when you do mulch. Alright, as we crawl up the trellis, we have a closer look at the passion fruit, which is now doing really well as well. That's almost reached the top of the fence. Now, you guys may not remember, but it only came up to the middle of the fence this time last month, or even a month before, when we didn't have that proper heat. But now it's crawling all the way up. And I wanted to show you, which I haven't shown you in a long time either, something else that's following chase is, you get a closer look, the tropical vanilla vine. So that one was only about 30 centimeters when we first got him, but since then, look how beautiful he's gone. I highly recommend him because he's such an easy plant to grow during summer and spring. Now, he was indoors for the majority of it, but look at that. They're so easy to grow, guys. You got to get your hands on a vanilla vine. I can't recommend it enough. And now that it's humid, he's loving it even more. So he's outdoors. I highly recommend it. Beautiful plant. It's ornamental, you know, and it's just an overall nice plant. So vanilla vine. Now, if we pan back a little bit, we've got some more sugarcane, which is going crazy. Loving it. Some potatoes, which are self-sprouted. R2E2 mango seedling, which is doing sensational. No complaints there, loads of new growth. More bananas, some taro. Continuing on with the jungle theme, taro, more mango seedlings, another moringa which we purchased, which is awesome. That's doing really well. Smaller moringa there on the floor. More taro and pumpkins, chilies. And then as we go up, we've got our coffee tree, the outdoor full sun coffee tree, which is shooting out loads of growth. So that's a comparison. That's the experiment. The outdoor versus, oh sorry, not the outdoor, the protected versus non-protected. Hard to say which one's doing better. This one was a newer one, so he does get a bit more of an advantage. But still doing pretty well. Now the lychee at the back, it's very hard to get into this canopy, but the lychee at the back there, also doing sensational. Love the dark, deep colour of him. We do have a bit of sun damage there, but nothing too drastic. And he's doing really well, and he's protected by this bamboo, which is also doing sensational. And just behind him, you've got your Namdok Mai, which I did tip it, as you can see there, but it hasn't yet shown any branching yet, so fingers crossed it branches, because that's what we want, branch and root growth. Moving down, like as I mentioned guys, it's been 2 weeks since our last episode, so a lot's been happening. Jabudi Kaba has come back. How awesome is that? So heaps of new growth on the Jabbo, and new leaf, which is awesome. And he's been sort of dormant for almost 6 months. If you remember on the previous videos, I've always been waiting and waiting and waiting for him to come back, and he's back now, and he's back hopefully stronger and better than ever. Panning right across, we've got our basil. I think that's Thai basil. For any of you who know what that is. Also doing great. Just below it, those little stalks, that one there that's coming up, sugarcane. Now that sugarcane is just compost sugarcane thrown into the ground, mulched on top, and as you can see, get a closer look there, they're just popping up everywhere. So that's the result of mulch, guys. And the thing is, as you can see with the pineapple there too, underneath this mulch, about 5 centimeters down, not even, probably 3, is sand, pure sand. And how do you get rid of sand? You can either dig it out, or you can mulch it until you mulch and mulch and mulch and become soil. So we just keep mulching and adding more and more mulch, and that's a result. Alright, Longan seedling, probably the worst of the worst. Most of you saw the damage from the sun in the previous video, but he is a slow grower, so trying to stay patient with him, and hopefully he sends out some new growth soon. But he was just recently moved into the sun again, because I wasn't too sure whether or not he was enjoying the shade. Okay, and finally we've got another new addition, which we didn't do so well with last year, but we're going to give another go, and that is the Bilimbi seedling. This one's smaller than the one that we got last time, which makes me a bit scared, but we'll see how he goes in the greenhouse, and then he's coming straight inside during winter. So the Bilimbi seedling, guys, definitely better than the last one that I got, even though he's smaller. And the reason why I say that is he's greener, he's got nicer greener leaves, and on the top there, lots of new growth. So I don't know if you can see that, but that's alright. And these guys arrived, him and the moringas arrived yesterday. So they were put outside while it was raining, and they copped heaps of rain. So that would have been a nice welcome to Melbourne, welcome to tropical Melbourne. So nice acclimation for them there. Alright guys, that's pretty much it. I sort of sped through it, and I know I sped through it, but I wanted to give you guys a quick update on how everything's sort of been going since our heat wave and since our thunderstorms that we've had. Today's top of 26 degrees, a bit more humid again, which is great for these plants, and we'll hope to see more growth coming within the next couple of weeks. But I forgot to show you guys the mango. 1 second. Actually, I forgot to show you the ice cream bean, which is doing awesome. He's going to go in the ground soon. I've just got to pick the right place for him, somewhere where he can spread his wings and also be an upper canopy tree, but also somewhere where he's not going to be sort of infringed by any other sort of tree that's going to stop him from growing. So ice cream bean's doing really well. And yeah, the Kensington Pride. So as I told you guys, I tipped him. Sorry, fence is in the way. And look what's happening now since I tipped him. New branch growing over there, and 2 new branches there and there, left and right. And he's doing really well since I tipped him. So really happy with that. And we'll keep monitoring that. Hopefully he gets those branches out by the end of summer and they get some decent growth on them, because come winter, if not protected, it's going to be a bit of trouble. But anyways, we'll keep monitoring that. But that's it for the miniature jungle, guys. Everything's doing really, really well. No complaints at all. Coconut number 2, forgot to show you there as well. That oval shaped leaf on the right, that's a new growth. Still a bit of sun damage. Again guys, you can't discount sun damage, it's going to happen. You got to be more wary about the winter damage. And these guys are still not in pots, believe it or not. That one and that one there too, with some more new growth. I'm really happy with the coconuts. Still not in pots, believe it or not. And they don't need to be in pots for a while. So it would be preferable time to chuck them in pots now, but not for a while. But anyways guys, let me know your thoughts, your comments. If you like it, give it a large thumbs up. And let me know what you guys think, if I should be doing anything different. And I will catch you all from the next video. Bye for now.